Hi friends, my name is Chaitanya Patke and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Very disheartening and disappointing loss for Team India, and it is one of the most bitter pills to swallow. As we know that we were along with Pakistan one of the most fancied teams to reach the Asia Cup final, but that wasn't to be. Consecutive losses in the Super 4, first against Pakistan and now this devastating loss against Sri Lanka has left us on the brink, and almost we are out of the tournament. There are some permutation combinations which if go our way we can still qualify for the final, but that scenario seems unlikely. There were a lot of factors that contributed to our loss, but we will get to that further. First of all, we will analyze Team India's innings. Sri Lanka won the toss and as expectedly chose to bowl first on this sort of a pitch, which was great for the batsman, but it had initially something for the bowlers. But as the innings progresses, the pitch got better and better to bat on, and that advantage went to Sri Lanka in the second innings. I'm not taking any credit away from them, and there was a little due factor as well, but it counted for nothing as the Sri Lankan batsmen, especially the openers, put down the brakes and hammered Indian bowling to all parts. And we tried to make inroads through Yuzvendra Chahal in the middle overs, but it wasn't simply meant to be. India managed to score 173 for the loss of 8 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. KL Rahul once again failing to show its caliber, and there is a growing clamour about including Rishabh Pant at the top order or replacing KL Rahul altogether in the playing 11 with Ishan Kishan, who has one of the top scorers in international T20 cricket this year. He is certainly not helping his cause, and with each passing failure, it will get difficult for KL Rahul and the team management to justify his place in the playing 11. 6 runs of seven deliveries LBW by Mahesh Tikshana, which included one boundary. Skipper Rohit Sharma played one of his best T20 innings, I would say 72 of 41 deliveries, which included 4 boundaries and 5 boundaries and 4 massive 6s. Couple over square leg, the 6s were a delight to watch, and he walks the talks. He talks about the aggressive approach that Team India wants to embody in this format, and he certainly lives up to its expectations himself. And he could have the chance if he played 2 or 3 deliveries for single or waited for a bit more. He could have certainly completed his another 100, but for him, what is paramount is team's goals. And yes, he perished towards deep long on, deep point, I beg your pardon, on the bowling of Chamika Karunaratne. It was a wide delivery, and he was very devastated with himself, rightfully so. But that shows the standards that despite the fact of scoring such a brilliant inning, 72 of 41 deliveries, he wanted it more, and it augurs well for Team India in the future that their skipper is back in form. Virat Kohli, I would say that this match and this shot he shouldn't have played, despite the fact that the approach that we are talking, a duck from 4 deliveries, he was bowled for Dilshan Madhushanka. It was quite a nothing shot, a cross-batted hoik, which he could have avoided. And yes, such shots are detrimental to the team's interest. So he shouldn't have played that, and I hope he learned that lesson, because he's one of the most important batsmen in our batting lineup. And template is okay. Nobody is questioning the mantra that team management is trying to follow. But with some game awareness, Virat Kohli could have prolonged his innings as well. Surya Kumar Yadav struggled, I would say, despite the fact that he scored 34 but of 29 deliveries. He took singles wherever possible, but he found it extremely difficult to hit the big shots. And there is also a certain section that believes that Surya Kumar Yadav didn't perform well against Pakistan and Sri Lanka, but performed well against Hong Kong. With all due respect to Hong Kong, they are not on the level of Sri Lanka and Pakistan yet. So it will be up to Surya to prove his critics wrong against Afghanistan. And unfortunately, if he fails in that games, there will be a little bit of pressure on Surya as well, despite the fact that he's been in excellent form. Hardik Pandya scored 17 of 13 deliveries, once again looked good, got out against the run of play, and his dismissal could have been avoided. That was the difference between India making 173 and 190. So it was quite a huge blow in the longer term for Team India. Deepak Hooda disappointed with 3 of 4 deliveries. Rishabh Pant also looked very solid for his 17 of 13 deliveries. But once again could not convert that start into a big score. At least 35-40 was expected, but we can't blame him very much because he once again was going to try to follow that template. And Ravi Ashwin scored 15 of 7 deliveries, which included that one massive six, which propelled India to above 170. Bhuvneshwar Kumar was out for duck, LBW by Chamika Karunaratne. For Sri Lanka, Dilshan Madhushanka was the pick of the bowlers. In 4 overs, he gave away 23 runs by taking 3 wickets, his best career showing, and that will do his confidence a world of good. Manish Tikshana, despite taking a hammering from Rohit Sharma in the power play, still managed respectable figures of 4 overs, 29 for 1. Chamika Karunaratne in 4 overs, he gave away 27 runs and took 2 wickets. Bold cutter, slower one, so slower bouncer. His all variations came to the fore, and it restricted India to get to a big total. So a big plus for Karunaratne as well. Ashita Fernando in 2 overs, he gave away 28 runs. He was very expensive, but such sort of days happen. One bowler glows for a plenty. Vanindu Hasaranga disappointed the most in my estimation. In 4 overs, he didn't pick up a single wicket by giving away 39 runs. So he knew the Indian batsman since the 22 IPL season. He knows their strength and weaknesses, and more was expected from the Sri Lankan management from him. But it's okay. Not everyone gets can take every wicket. But at least the least he could do was going at less than 8 per over. 10 per over is not acceptable for a bowler of his standards. Dasun Chanaka in 2 overs, he gave away 26 runs and took a couple of wickets. So Team India managed 173 for 8 and 174 run target for Sri Lanka. In 19.5 overs, they managed to achieve that with just one delivery to spare. Pathum Nisankha, the star, in 52 runs of 37 deliveries, which included 2 massive sixes as well as 4 boundaries. He hadn't performed up to his potential in this tournament, but he silenced his critics, used the feet very well, took the attack to the Indian opposition, equally good through the offside as well as the leg side, and his form augurs good for Sri Lanka. He was out by Yuzvendra Chahal, but by then damage had been done. Kushal Mendes scoring 57 of 37 deliveries, which included 4 boundaries and 3 sixes as well. He has found his groove once again, and if you closely follow the career of Kushal Mendes, there are many crests and troughs. Sometimes he is in great form. When he is not, he is a headache for the Sri Lankan management. But hopefully, this time, after 2 great knocks against Bangladesh and Afghanistan, respectively, he came into this match in great form and showed intent right from the word go. And the Sri Lankan batsmen, if anything, both the openers especially were started to attack that delivery. Despite the fact that there was a threat of losing the wicket, so they were rewarded with excellent boundaries for this approach. Charit Asalanka's horrendous runs continues once again. No other sorry for that word for that. Bombay Duck in 3 deliveries. He was out by Yuzvendra Chahal as well. Yuzvendra Chahal respectably managed to get India back to the game after the 10 over mark. Sri Lanka were 97 for none, and after that they were teetering at 122 for 4. Yuzi Chahal picking up the 3 wickets, once again making an excellent comeback from the hammering that he got in the last game against Pakistan. And that's what Yuzi does. You write him off and he bats you in the back. So his form augurs well for Team India. Danushka Gunathilke was LBW to Ravichandran Ashwin for just a single in 7 deliveries. Ravichandran Ashwin was drafted into the squad in place of Ravi Bishnoi. Now, many people would say Ravi Bishnoi impressed one and all with his display against Pakistan. Why to include Ravi Ashwin? But it is hard on Ravi Bishnoi. But I certainly think that even Ravi Bishnoi understands that there is a lot of talent, and not everyone will get all the games. And this was like a knockout game for Team India, although it didn't went our way. But we have to try an experienced bowler like Ravichandran Ashwin, because what is the point of bringing Ashwin to the squad and not playing him a single game? So 4 overs, 32 runs, 1 wicket, decent figures for Ravi Ashwin. Bhanuka Rajapaksa took the game away along with Dasun Chanaka. Rajapaksa was not out on 25 of 17 deliveries, 2 sixes. Just when looked that Indian bowlers had the match under wrap, those 2 sixes spoiled everything, and Dasun Chanaka put in a man of the match display. He was rightfully adjudged because he took 2 wickets in the first innings as well. 33 runs with the bat from 18 deliveries, which includes a solitary 6 and 4 boundaries. We there it is going under the radar that Rishabh Pant missed a sitter of a stumping of Yuzvendra Chahal of the first delivery of Yuzi Chahal. Dasun Chanaka could have been back to the hut then and there. So that mistake cost us, and we have to remember that six times that the ball went in the air, but it fell in no man's land. Sri Lankan batsmen also were laughing, and Indian fielders were also having a grin that how the hell is this possible. So luck was towards Sri Lanka's side, I would say, in this game as well. But they made their luck because fortune always favors the brave, and their approach was pretty terrific to watch, despite the fact that it hurt as an Indian. Dasun Chanaka played well. He got some streaky boundaries, we have to remember. One towards the third man that he didn't intend to guide that delivery that fine, but it still went for four. Drop stumping of Rishabh Pant, and towards the last delivery of the game as well. If Rishabh Pant took ample of time, I don't know how he could miss. He still had ample of time, and if he had thrown the ball to the stump, then we could have at least had a super over or an Indian victory. Who knows? And when the ball same delivery went to Arshdeep Singh at the non-striker's end as well. He also missed the stump from close range. He also had a bit of time. So silly mistakes here and there costed India. Rohit Sharma also did a misfield, which costed India 1 run towards the latter stages. So these small little things, if went our way, India could have easily won the match. But anyways, that is not to be. Bhuvneshwar Kumar in 4 overs he gave away 30 runs. Not a great display. In 3 overs he bowled very well, but the last over he followed an unfortunate template against Pakistan as well. In the 19th over he gave away 18 runs, and India lost the match. In this game also a lot was expected from him in the penultimate over, but he didn't fulfill it. So two consecutive failures for Bhuvi. Hope he bounces back, but his failures are one of the reasons that Team India is out. Arshdeep Singh in 3.5 overs 40 for no wickets. Tried his best in the final over once again. Similar scenario, had to defend 7. Took it till the 5th ball. So it is a very steep learning curve for Arshdeep, and I think he will come out the best in the other side. Hardik Pandya had a game to forget. A couple of very ordinary performances on the trot by him. 4 overs, 35 runs, no wickets, and a lot was expected from him with the ball, and he didn't deliver this time as well. Yuzi Chahal 4 overs, 34 runs, 3 wickets. Excellent display, and I am sure that now once he is in rhythm, he will perform well against Afghanistan and in the subsequent series against Australia and South Africa. And Ravi Ashwin in 4 overs gave away 32 runs by taking a solitary wicket. So all in all, a pretty disappointing day as an Indian fan. A lot was expected from the team, and Rohit Sharma said after the press conference that he has more or less identified the playing 11, but still small little things they need to work on. But in my estimation, these small little things have only costed Team India the place in the Asia Cup final, and God forbid such mistakes don't happen in the World Cup, because there is no margin for error. There was no margin for error in this game as well, but we didn't perform up to our potential, and quite rightfully we didn't deserve to win this game at all. So how did you like my analysis of this video, of this game? Please tell in the comment section below, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press the bell icon for further notifications. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, everyone, bye.